I figured I'd match your energy today. So if you're excited about being here, give me some noise. I'll give you one more chance, one more. If you're excited, that's much better. I'll try to match that now. Good morning. It is an honor and pleasure to be here, celebrating with you today. Graduates, take a second to reflect over what you have just accomplished. You have a degree in computer science from one of the top universities in the US, in a field that is highest in demand worldwide. You should be extremely proud. Congratulations. I know you can all do better than that, so we'll keep it going, but let's see. Parents, faculty, and staff, you have enabled another class of computer scientists to go shape and build the world that we live in. That is really exciting. Thank you for everything you do. I grew up overseas. Both of my parents are in academia, one a mathematician and the other an engineer. I moved to the US when I was 17 for college. I studied electrical and computer engineering at UMass Amherst. Tinkering with circuit boards and various electronics till 2 a.m. was a regular occurrence for me. I loved it. But it was not until my senior year, when I started taking a few computer science classes, that I realized I wanted to switch majors. A little late, maybe. Computer networks and distributed algorithms blew my mind. The notion of large-scale distributed systems, how to build them, how to manage them, how to observe them, it was fascinating. This is how I ended up as a graduate student at BU's networking lab, working with some of the best professors, researchers, and educators in the field. Professor Abraham Mattar, Professor Azar Bistafros, Professor John Byers, Professor Mark Rovella, and many more. I'd only taken maybe 3 classes in computer science so far, but I was going to attempt getting a PhD. Every graduate class was a topic I had almost never studied before. It was not easy. If it was not for the mentorship, infinite patience, and the world-class expertise of the faculty at BU, I would have never been able to do that. I feel extremely fortunate to have had that experience. I know you all feel the same way. I graduated from BU with a PhD in computer science. I knew I wanted to work on problems related to large-scale systems. Having fallen in love with Boston, I joined Akamai, right across the bridge in Cambridge, a large worldwide content distribution network. They delivered millions of videos, live streams, app updates, and much more. Imagine you're watching a video online while flying from San Francisco to Boston, maybe to give a speech, maybe at Boston University, maybe the story is real. The video stalls for a few seconds. You get frustrated. Not again with this airplane Wi-Fi, not playing my Netflix video to my satisfaction while cruising at 30,000 feet. Just think about how insane that is. Think about how far we've come over the last 50 years. Now think about all the computer scientists at companies like Akamai, building the platforms that serve such videos, including all the data analytics to figure out exactly what happened with your stalled video. I knew I was hooked. After about 6 years, I moved to Meta, or Facebook at the time. This time, billions of users, a large portfolio of different products that many of us have probably used, all changing how we interact, how we communicate, and how we share information. Computer scientists, again, helping build these platforms from the ground up. Before Facebook existed, I still remember a time when I was an undergraduate student, living in the dorms without any family around. I had to log online every week on callingcards.com to find which cards had the cheapest rates to call home. That was before voice calls over the internet were popular. The price changed weekly. It was like buying stock. I wish I were making this up. I actually looked up the company. They still exist somehow. After Meta, I moved to Uber. This is where I have been over the last 5 years, leading a team with widely diverse skills, software engineers, front-end, back-end, and everything in between, data engineers, data scientists, and applied scientists. We partner closely with other software engineering teams, designers, hardware engineers, data center engineers, cloud engineers, technical program managers, product managers, and many, many more. The number of partnerships you need to be successful is rather amazing. If you think you will only be working with software engineers, think again. This has been the most exciting transition in my career so far. It was no longer about millions of online videos. at Akamai, or billions of users communicating, connecting on Facebook. At Uber, it is now people in cars getting somewhere or delivering something. Billions of trips on this massive transportation logistics platforms. Complex algorithms, machine learning, security, reliability, safety, scalability, efficiency, all those words are much more real now. Something about being responsible for people physically moving from one place to another. The stakes are much higher. Imagine for a second if the Uber app, with all the ongoing trips, just decided to completely shut down for a day. Sorry, bad code was released. We are figuring out the problem. Please stay in your vehicle. We will be with you shortly. It's a scary thought. Those are the types of things you'll be thinking about at work every day. It is not just the scale that is challenging, it is how quickly some of these applications evolve when they become part of our daily lives. You start with a simple solution built for a certain number of users, your application takes off, you now must adapt all your software over time to keep up. The challenge, you're not allowed to ever pause. Improve the software stack as Uber scales without impacting what already exists. That is hard. I know I've only talked about large-scale systems. To be honest, that has indeed been the focus of my career. In my personal life, I sometimes get excited about the simplest of solutions, especially the ones that I did not know I needed. About 3 years ago, I met my wife, Joanna. We're now expecting Nora, a baby girl, next week. Yes. Thank you. Yes, I'm playing it close. She's in San Francisco right now. She hasn't called me yet, so I think we're okay for a few more minutes. Joanna had 7 cats when we first met. Yes, 7. She rescued them over the years from a clinic she worked at. I, on the other hand, am allergic to cats. I've also never had pets before. I quickly realized that I'm going to need help with the scooping, the feeding, the brushing, and all that. Thinking like a computer scientist, I was either going to find solutions or create new ones. Fast forward to today, while we only have 2 cats now, our apartment is equipped with cameras, self-feeding machines, water fountains, and a self-cleaning litter robot. I control and tinker with everything from a few apps on my phone. I can even tell you how much my cats weigh. That is always a fun topic for Joanna to discuss. Wolverine, the bigger cat, the cuter one if you ask Joanna, is putting on weight again. We need to put him on a diet, again. The power of the data we now collect and process never ceases to amaze me. I'm sure you have your own favorite applications. I cannot wait to see what new problems you solve in your career and which applications or platforms you decide to dedicate a significant portion of your life building. Just reflect on that for a second. Dedicate a significant portion of your life building specific platforms. I'm excited for you, and I hope you find what truly excites you. I believe it's customary to provide 3 pieces of advice. I don't know why 3 is the right number, but I hope you find the ones I picked helpful. While I spent my career building, observing, and managing large-scale systems, my advice is based on observing people, especially some of the most successful engineers I have seen over the years. The ones that have influenced me the most, the ones I admire, the ones I want to build lifelong friendships with. Here's the first one. First, be kind. Tech jobs are often fast-paced with varying degrees of pressure to perform well. People often associate a lot of their identity and self-worth with their jobs. That has this profound impact on people where being unkind to a peer or colleague might have implications that are far beyond one negative interaction. People take that frustration, probably anger or discontent, home. Now it impacts partners, children, friends, and loved ones. Finding ways to always be kind to others, no matter what is at stake, no matter who is at fault, no matter what the problem may be, will go a long way in enabling you to shape the environment that you work in. I truly believe any group of individuals can shape their environment to make sure it is filled with emotional and psychological safety, where everyone can do their best work. Nothing makes me happier than seeing my engineers laughing, being kind to each other, and working together to solve complex problems. If you ever find yourself moving into management or becoming a leader, one painful reality you may find yourself having to reconcile is this. Engineers leave bad managers well before they leave bad companies. Just internalize that for a second. I have found that reality quite humbling. It makes me want to show up as a better leader every day, keeping in mind that my flaws and my mistakes impact many more people, especially the people I manage. We call that the blast radius. The blast radius of your actions could be much larger than you know. So be kind, including to yourself, and be mindful of your blast radius. Do you guys want to hear a second one? Second piece of advice? If you want to hear a second piece of advice, you need to hear some noise. You can do better than that. Second piece of advice, come on. All right. Here's the second one. If you want the third one, you're going to have to give me some love. Second, doing good work takes time. Yes, it may be possible to make more money by switching jobs every 1 or 2 years. There is research on how much more money you can make by switching jobs more frequently. It is quite tempting, too. It has in many ways become the norm in the tech field. From my perspective, however, I truly believe that doing good work takes time at one place to really make a difference. Take your time to learn your domain, understand your customers, build internal and external relationships, partnerships, and even friendships. Evolve your work, expand scope, establish a broader vision, take on bigger projects, and continue finding ways to grow your skills. Focus on providing value. Do not focus on chasing titles, promotions, or even money. If you do good work and provide value, all those things will come naturally over time. Some of the best engineers I have seen are the ones that I'm able to build entire teams around, the ones that have a long-term view on things. They show up day in and day out, working towards a vision, sometimes over the course of many years. They are team players. That sense of camaraderie that you build in such environments is simply priceless. Do you want to hear the third one? Okay, I'm going to skip the third one now. Come on. Third, do not lose sight of what is important to you, be it your health, family, loved ones, relationships, hobbies, interests, or whatever else. There's so many problems to solve in our field that you can easily lose sight of things. I've seen engineers get burnt out in their careers time and time again. Remember, it is a marathon, not a sprint. If you want to continue working on problems that you're passionate about, you'll want to pace yourself and have a long-term outlook. Finding that balance can sometimes be a challenge. It is important that you always think about that at every stage in your career. My brother, Marwan, also a computer scientist and an expert in machine learning, worked so hard for so many years that when he finally took a sabbatical, he kept extending it to make sure he does not get burnt out again. He has refocused his energy on competing in Ironman challenges. Do you know what an Ironman is? Does anyone know? So let me tell you, I had to look this up. An Ironman involves 140.6 miles of self-propelled travel. Yes, self-propelled. That's the definition. Broken into a 2.4-mile swim, a 112-mile bike ride, and a 26.2-mile run. In case you didn't catch that last part, you finished at the end with a full marathon. Now here's the question. Can you imagine how burnt out you must be for an Ironman to be the relaxing thing you do on a sabbatical? Do not lose sight of what is important to you and make sure you find that balance well before you get completely burnt out. I'm excited about your future. I see it filled with innovation, exciting problems to solve, new platforms to build across every discipline, machine learning and artificial intelligence getting further integrated into our lives, autonomous vehicles everywhere. The list is endless. I'm sure you're going to do great, great things. Thank you again for giving me a chance to celebrate with you today, and congratulations.
Thank you, Karim. It's my privilege to recognize you as the 2024 Distinguished Alumnus in Computer Science.